Good to have Shabbos, everyone. Parshas Vayikra. We start a new book of the Chumash, and the first week, Shabbos, of the week of the month of Nisan, before Pesach. So, in the Chassidische Parsha, it talks about the idea of what does it mean, Adam ki akrav mikem, a person from with themselves gives a sacrifice to God. And also, the Parsha, the book, is called the book of Vayikra, like we learned today in the Sikha from the Rebbe's talk in 1972. And the whole Sefer, the whole book is called, the Parsha is called, the book is called Vayikra, and this is the third, the most essential, most important part of the Torah, with all the laws specifically about Karbanos. So why is it called Vayikra, and why doesn't the Torah tell us who's calling Moshe? It says Vayikra al Moshe, and Moshe was called. It doesn't say who's calling him. Last week's Parsha finishes off, when we finish off the book of Shemais, after Bnei Yisrael built and put up the Mishkan, and the cloud of Hashem comes and rests on the Mishkan. It says Moshe couldn't enter the Mishkan because of the presence of God. And then we start this week's Parsha, Parshas Vayikra, which is on the 8th day of the dedication of the temple. And so to say, God calls, Moshe's been called into the Mishkan. So the Alter Rebbe discusses that the Vayikra, the calling, is it empowers Moshe in an empowering message to let him come into the Mishkan, although last week it says the presence of God was there, therefore Moshe couldn't go into the Mishkan. But what's this really all mean, and what's this all mean to us, and why is the whole book called Vayikra? So we learned an amazing talk from the Rebbe today, and also pretty much connected to what we spoke about last week. The reason the word Vayikra means, and the reason why we don't mention Hashem's name, is specifically because that is the whole point of Torah. The Torah is coming to tell us that although you're going to start learning now the book of Vayikra, which is full of so many laws, all the parshas are full of laws and sacrifices and other laws. Really, the bulk of the laws of the Torah are in the book of Vayikra. And a person learns all the laws and knows that from the laws we have the Mishnah and the Talmud and all the studies and all the details that we learn from Minohan immediately, like it says, the Gemara says, how do we know that this is the law? Amar Akra, the Pasuk tells us. So there's so much that there's the knowledge and information of Torah. A person may think that the whole point of Torah is that this is God's wisdom, and we're studying God's wisdom. When God calls Moshe, Vayikra Moshe, God's calling to Moshe, what God is really saying is, it's not about the study, it's not about the conversation, it's not even about Vayikra Hashem, the name Yudke Vavke, which is the name of God as a creator, that I'm the creator, and I'm calling you to have a conversation about creation, to have a conversation about the purpose of creation, how we take Torah and integrate that into creation. So there's a job. We have a job. What's your tafkid? What's your job in this world? Every person tries to understand their purpose in this world. And God's going to call Moshe and tell him, this is the purpose. This is how we bring Torah. Like we said, although the Torah should have started from Achodesh Zelechem, from the first mitzvah, the Torah starts from Bereshis to tell us that we're supposed to use the power of Torah and bring that power into the world. So a person may think that's the whole connection, that's the whole relationship of Torah, that's the whole relationship between Torah, the Jewish people, and Hashem. Therefore, the Torah says, Vayikra Moshe. We're not talking about the creator. Take my title of creator out of this. It's not about you being a creation and you have a job and a tafkid. It's such a personal calling that there's no name. And therefore, Moshe was able to enter the tabernacle. He couldn't go in last week because as long as it was connected to levels, connected to what Moshe needed to do. So now there's a higher level of revelation. Maybe he couldn't enter there under the specific job, so to say, that he has. But when God calls Moshe, he says, forget all the titles, forget all the business relationship. It's me, it's a father calling a son. It's Hashem, the essence of God, calling the essence of every Jew. Yes, the Torah is about understanding. Yes, the Torah is about the mitzvahs. Yes, the Torah is about all the details. But there's something much deeper than that. That's only the way God encloses himself in the Torah. But the essence of God that is expressed through the mitzvahs, through the understanding, is an essential essence that when Hashem wants to show that to us, and before he's about to start Torah's Koyanim, before he's about to start the book of Vayikra, before we go into all the details, it's Vayikra. It's Moshe, God calling Moshe. It's the essence of God calling the essence of every Jew. And when a person may want to start their journey in life, start their journey in Tshuva, start their journey in Torah, and wonder, who am I to approach Torah? Who am I to do what is expected of me? You have to know it's not that God chose you for you're the best person for the job. God showed you because you're essentially connected to him. Like a father doesn't have any reason why he's connected to his son. but his whole definition of the whole way he becomes a father and is a father is because he has the Son. And the Son is a son of the Father. And that's the Vayikra Moshe. Before we start anything, we have to start and recognize the essential connection we have with Hashem. And that's why this week's, when it comes to the dedication of the temple, the prince of Yisachar, which represents Torah, only sacrifices second. Yehuda, which represents bittul, haidah, acknowledgement, which the dedication, the commitment of acknowledgement comes from our central connection to Hashem. Therefore, we're ready to give everything away for Hashem, to give our whole life. That's why it says, Nefesh ki sakriv mikem. We're ready to give everything we have for God, not just the parts that we may think is important, but we're ready to give everything because He's calling to our essence. We're connecting to His essence, and therefore we want everything to be part of how we can build this relationship and make a resting place for Hashem to the ultimate goal of the coming of Mashiach b'mheir b'imenu. Good Shabbos, everyone, and happy Pesach.